Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Robert Khakham Show. As always, I'm Robert Khakham with my amazing producer.
You know what?
What?
I need a water.
You're just going to leave to get a water. I had a cup of water. I left it on the thing.
Tyler Hartley.
Tyler Hartley's back. He went to go get water. He's here. He's in a mood. He's a little stressed. You feeling okay, Tyler?
I didn't know we were going to start this. I'm fine, Robert.
Are you feeling okay?
I'm absolutely fine.
I just want to make sure you're good.
I'm okay.
Okay, good. I can move on if you'd like.
Yes, let's move on. How was your weekend? Was it amazing as usual?
It was really good. It was a great weekend. It was an
Excellent.
incredible weekend.
Where were you again? You were in London again this week?
I was in London again this week.
Why did you start this off telling them I was in a good mood? I was going to be in a good mood for you.
I know.
And now everyone else is in a bad mood. What am I supposed to pretend the whole episode?
Nobody said you were in a bad mood. I didn't say that. I didn't say you were in a bad mood.
You said I was in a mood.
I said a mood.
Nobody says you're in a mood because you're in a good mood.
You could be in a good mood.
Nobody says nobody says
could be in a good
this
mood.
fucking guy because he's like, I like that guy.
I just care about you. That's all. I'm not trying to put you on blast. I just want you.
Fucking do that. Now I feel bad. Don't do that.
I just care about you. I just care about you. That's all. You know? I just care about my producer. That's all. I want everyone to be at 100%. You know? We're building an empire. You know? That's what I tell my girl every time she's like, "Let's hang out." I'm like, "Can't. Building my empire."
What'd she say?
She understands.
There you go.
She gets it. She goes, "Listen,
yeah, you guys are doing well, eh?
We're doing all right.
That's good.
Yeah, we've been
That's
doing
happy.
good.
You know, I want to say right now, I apologize. I was disrespectful at the start of this.
That's okay.
It was all for jokes, but I did call her a bitch, and that called her that dumb bitch. I referred to her that way. That was
the
rude.
first episode.
That was rude. I apologize about that.
That's okay. You know, and I bet she'll appreciate it.
So I'm in a very like just a guilty mood right now.
You don't need to.
Everything
man.
I've done in my life, I've been thinking about in the last week, and then you texted me last night. I was upset with you. And I apologized to you. I was like, sorry, I'm being rude. I'm in a mood right now, and that's why you're a great boss. You know, you let your workers flush out their ideas.
Tyler, I want nothing. I not that I want nothing but the best, but it's more. That's a weird way to put it. It's like I want nothing but the best. No. Listen. Health is the number one priority in anything. All right.
Okay.
Physical, mental, that comes before all of this. Okay. The empire is being built. Right? That's why usually when they were building empires, they had slaves.
Yes.
You know? Now, you're not really a slave. You know, I don't pay you. You're not a slave. I don't consider you a slave, right? It could very easily become that, but I don't want it to become that, you know? You're not a slave, you know?
Yeah.
You're a human being, right? And I'm going to treat you like a human being, you know?
I appreciate that.
You know, the fact that you apologize for calling her a dumb bitch, hey, man, it ain't your fault, you know?
Yeah,
You didn't know where it was going to go.
Even as a joke, though. It's not right.
At the time, you know, we didn't know what could happen, right?
We didn't.
In your perspective, she was a dumb bitch, and that's totally okay.
Yeah, but but it's a bad perspective. It's a disrespectful perspective.
You know, we might have not lasted. You know, I might have stopped talking to her. Would you have been apologizing then?
No, that dumb
there
bitch
you
fucking
go.
left you.
There you go, right? So it's okay. You know, at the time, you're like, hey, this is a dumb bitch, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think she's a dumb bitch, but you know what? She might end, but turns out she didn't end up being one. So
that's good.
So that's good, right? See, growth. This is what the Robert Khakham Show is about. It's about exploring the growth. It's about exploring it's about digging into who we are, you know? And you're a very important part of the show. I want you to know that.
Okay.
I've said this to you many times.
I know you did.
I know it's called the Robert Khakham Show, but you're a very important, vital, integral part of what we do here.
Yeah, I know. My therapist said I need to start appreciating myself more. So
you in therapy?
Yeah, I do therapy.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you have therapy today?
No, last week.
Last week?
I have it
okay,
on Thursday.
Okay.
I'm barely hanging on to our next appointment.
Listen, man, that means it was a good session.
My therapist told me he's 70 the other day, and he's like, you should be looking forward to the future. And he's like, told me he's 70. I was like,
your therapist is 70?
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna die before I'm fucking ready. What kind of hope is that?
Is he? It's a man.
Yeah.
You go to a guy therapist?
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before.
I
don't know why you go to a girl.
I would only go to a woman therapist.
I honestly maybe should, man.
I will never tell my problems to a dude.
Now that I think about that, that's interesting. We're not a therapy podcast, by the way.
Women have that natural sort of nurture instinct in them where they don't like men, like even I don't care, male therapist, 70, 20. Dudes in general just don't have this thing that women have where there's like they just have this intent urge to they just want to give you a hug.
Yeah.
You know, the best nurses, the best caregivers, right? The best, like, you know, you could say doctors, right? I've had my my bowel surgeon doctor when I had bowel surgery was a woman, you know.
What's that like?
What was it like?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm alive, so I guess it was good.
Is she hot?
No.
Oh,
no. She was an old
Do you think
Irish.
it's better or worse that she's not hot?
Better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah, because if she's
way
hot,
better.
that sucks, dude.
Way better, dude. Trust me. No, she was an old, wrinkled up Irish lady.
That's perfect.
She knew what the fuck she was doing. She took out 70 centimeters.
Sure hope so.
70 centimeters of my small bowels she took out. You know?
Oh, yeah, we've talked about the small bowel
we have
before.
talked about this.
Yeah.
She took out 70 centimeters of small bowel. I can imagine, I was asleep when it happened, but I could imagine her, the way I picture it is her just fucking yanking it out like like a Polestar lawnmower. Just, you know, she gets my bowels, just fucking yanks it out, right?
Oh, that's like such a visual. Yeah, no, I can see that right now.
Totally.
Yeah, and like she like it's just like a Polestar. She couldn't quite get it on the first couple. Like she had to keep pulling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she probably knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah.
You know, so I really appreciate it.
It's weird to me that you keep saying probably. It's like she's a professional doctor, correct? You didn't just go to some lady.
No, professional doctor.
Okay, that's
Professional.
good.
I owe my life to this wrinkled up old Irish lady.
That's yeah. And
I really appreciate that she did it. She did a great job. But that goes back to my point where, yeah, no, I would only go to a woman therapist.
Yeah.
You know, a woman caregiver. You know, they're just this innate where you almost want to open up to them a little more. You know, there's not that dude judgment. At least I've never had a male therapist. I've had this one, and that's it. And that's the only one I've been going to for 6 years.
Yeah.
Now. But you know what I mean? Chances are, if you are feeling like this, it was probably a good session. You probably thought about some stuff. You probably worked some shit out. You probably scratched the surface of some things that have been bothering you.
Well, yeah, besides like therapy even, so there's just like in that moment when like you have like acceptance, which feels really good for a second, and then you start realizing you start digging into the acceptance of what you're accepting. You're like, oh yeah, I have been doing all this dumb shit. And yeah, you know, it just weighs on you. You just start feeling bad for the things you've done in the past, and like just gay shit, you know, just being moody and pissed off and whatever. Yeah.
But hey, man, you know what? Listen, as my therapist would say, this is the work.
This is the work, dude.
Is the
this
work.
Is the work.
The work sucks. The work is fucking, it's grimy. It's depressing. It's lonely. Nobody here to fucking help you.
Yeah.
Nobody understands.
Well, you were nice about it. You were good. You know, you're very understanding.
I totally
appreciate
I
that.
get it, man. You know, I totally understand, man. I've been through it. I'm still going through it. It never really ends.
It never ends. That's
it never
the
ends.
problem. Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's not a problem. It only ends when you die. You know, you either keep growing or you die.
Yeah.
You know, you never want to be in like a stalemate. You don't want to be 40 years old, having never worked on yourself, and then everyone's wondering why you're depressed and why you want to kill this person and kill yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The work is gritty.
Do you think those thoughts ever go away? Like these just murderous thoughts as a man?
No.
I don't think so.
No, they never go away, but you start to understand why you have these thoughts.
Yeah.
And then you don't act on them because you understand why you're thinking this way.
Dude, that's the thing. I've been acting on it too. I've murdered like 17 people in my life, and it's like I got to stop murdering people. That's really the issue.
You just got to accept what you're feeling, and then it'll stop. You have to, once the acceptance kicks in.
Yeah, I know. It still disgusts me when you say stuff like that, but yeah, I know. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Here's something my therapist taught me, right? Is you know when you're a child, you know, little baby Tyler, little baby Robert.
I don't remember that, no.
No, but you know how you were once a little child?
I'm aware of that, yeah.
I'm a little child. Everyone's got a little child.
Yeah.
You got this little child in you, right? So imagine little baby Tyler walked up to you right now, you know, and it was like, hey, would you treat him the way you treat yourself? Would you go, you little fucking piece of shit? Like, you know, 8-year-old Tyler comes up to you.
Oh,
look at you fucking piece. You know, gotta be nice to yourself, Tyler. I gotta be nice to myself too. You know, this is the thing, man. You know, we gotta be nice to ourselves. We gotta hug ourselves. We gotta understand, hey, man, we're all trying our best. We're all fucking human beings. Everything is I don't want to say like good necessarily, but I do want to say like, hey, man, you know, we're everyone. Listen, I'm enlightened. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm an enlightened I'm in a new plane of thinking recently. I'm in an enlightened plane.
You have been, I know.
I'm in an enlightened plane of thinking.
Yeah.
I haven't had arguments with anyone really, necessarily. Even this girl, like, no arguments compared to my last relationship. Like, we've had disagreements.
Yes.
Disagreements. Don't get me wrong. We've had disputes, but nothing that's ever hasn't been resolved with just one or two conversations, you know?
Yeah.
Like the other time when I was in Sudbury, I went to the strip club. She didn't like it. She didn't like that I went to the strip club.
Yeah.
She did not like it.
You told her about that.
I told her. You know why I told her? Because I'm honest. I got nothing to hide.
There's nothing dishonest about just not sharing.
There's nothing dishonest about it, right?
Yeah.
But I knew we were going to talk about it on the pod too. So I figured, listen, what's better? She hears it from me.
Yeah, she's going to hear it anyway.
She hears it from me, or she hears it on the pod, right? Without her even knowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I went to the strip club and I told her because, listen, I never want to be one of these guys that has to hide stuff from their girl. Like, I feel like that's more pathetic than just being, hey, I went to a strip club, Honesty is the key to relationships. In terms of, we're scared of being honest because we're scared that the girl's going to leave. Once you get rid of that fear of she's going to leave and you're just honest, she won't leave. She might, but you got to be okay with that. But realistically, if you come in at it with an honest fucking, you don't hide nothing, you put the ball in her court. It lets her make a decision on what she wants to do.
Yeah.
Right? And most of the times they appreciate the honesty. So so she comes, she goes, I don't like the fact that you went to the strip club. And I go, that's very valid. That's a very valid, reasonable thing. My explanation was, I didn't plan on it. It just sort of happened.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't plan. I was with another female. I was with Hannah, right?
What'd she say about that? Was she pissed about that too?
She wasn't pissed. But again, I got nothing to hide.
Yeah.
I got nothing to hide. I'm an open book.
That's right. You're an innocent man.
I did
There's
not.
nothing to hide.
I wouldn't say innocent, but
in this situation, you're an innocent.
In
man.
this situation, more so, it's there's an innocence, but it's more so by being honest, you understand that you're being innocent. That you got nothing. You're laying it all out there, right? Yeah, I went to a strip club, but it wasn't my plan to go. I wasn't driving 4 hours to Sudbury, being like, I can't wait to go to the fucking strip club. Oh my fucking god, can't wait to go to the strip club. I'm dying to go to the fucking strip club. Oh my fuck. No, wasn't like that. We were just going out. We were exploring the city of Sudbury, the great city of Sudbury. And we ended up at the strip club. That's what I explained to her, right? And obviously, yes, I can understand as a woman why she would not like that. There's naked girls running around. I'm a man, a straight man with a penis. I see naked women. But here's the thing. Here's my explanation to her. I go, yeah, there was naked women. I was looking, but I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking.
Gawking.
I wasn't horny for them. I wasn't. Yeah, there was naked women walking around. This I know I'm just getting older. Tits are nice. Who doesn't like looking at a pair of tits? They're just pleasant.
You're telling me you were a little horny when you saw these naked women.
No. I was also really fucking hammered. And like hammered to the point where there was no blood going nowhere. You know what I mean? The blood was just in my heart trying to stop me
just
from
pumping and
trying to stop me from passing out.
Yeah.
So that wasn't even the thing. It was we talked about this last episode, the vibe of the club, and I'm not gonna go into that because we talked about that last episode. Go check out the last episode. But yeah, I wasn't looking, It was just there. It was looking. There was naked women around. Yeah. That's what I explained to her. If anything, I wanted to bring her with me. I told her, like, you would have had a good time. Women usually have a way better time at the strip club than men do. They're there to party. Men are there horny. They're there. They don't have that animalistic horniness that we do. So like they're there. They're a good time. They like titties too. They like looking at a pretty girl as well. There were lesbians there, going up there, whatever, feeling up the girl. Like, okay, I'm there drinking. What am I going to do, sit in the room? I explained this to her, but not in this fashion, in a very nice, loving boyfriend kind of way. And hey, she understood. A lot of the times, what happens is people just want to get something off their chest, without feeling like what they're feeling is invalid. And they got it off their chest. She got it off her chest. And I heard her. I understood. I told her, you know, said nothing happened, obviously. Right? I wasn't lying. Nothing did happen. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, there were naked women. Yes, they were walking around. Yeah, there was titties. I was there. End of story. We went back to the room. We had drinks. Well, that was it. You know, it was almost like I was there as a anthropologist. You know, I was there as I was there to study. You know,
Yeah.
I was there for an experience, for a life experience. And sure enough, I got one, and I had stuff to talk about on the pod.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's that.
That's them.
I forgot the point why I went off on this rant, but my point is being like, listen, honesty, vulnerability, all those things will get you very far in life. We haven't had a lot of arguments. That's why I started saying, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Because hey, there's a lot of things that can be solved with a conversation. When someone's coming at you, you don't match that level. You keep it. If you keep it low, bro, what are they gonna keep barking at you? You know?
No. I mean, that works. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
You're there to have a conversation with somebody, you know?
I've been barking, though. I've been barking.
I haven't been talking about you.
I'm just saying, like, when you say that, I'm just like, I'm the barker.
But that's okay. I've barked. People bark.
Yeah.
I've barked too.
I
You know? It's a very...
I've seen you bark.
it's a very normal thing. You know? It's a very normal thing. You know? Once you learn to, like... But that's what I mean. You got to start accepting it. You got to have acceptance. You got to be like, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm feeling. All right. Let's get it out here. You know? Let's get it out. Let's use my words. You know, it's a responding. This is what I learned in therapy. Responding versus reacting. You see what I'm saying? Are you responding or are you reacting? You know, in my old relationship, I would react a lot. She'd come at me, I'd get defensive, I'd come at her, and then we would just do this thing where we try to top each other, figure out who's right. That gets you nowhere. And that's why I feel like this new relationship I'm in is kind of going better because we're responding to each other. She's chill, you know. You know, girls are crazy generally. She's chill, you know. She got that crazy inner. They all do, but she's chill for the most part, you know. And I don't activate that crazy gene in her.
Yeah.
You know, which hey, I appreciate. You know, I appreciate someone who's chill, who's got a chill vibe to them. You know, like this girl I'm dating, chill. She's very chill. We're gonna bring her on the pod one time. We're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna do it.
Sure.
We're gonna call in one time. I swear. I got nothing to hide. We're gonna do it. All right. We got. This is the Robert Khakham show.
I'm starting to think it's a dude. What do you mean you got nothing to hide? What is this shit?
He's got a penis. We got nothing to hide. We got to bring on the characters around the Robert Khakham world.
Sure. Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's all happening. We got some new stuff cooking for this episode. This weekend, though, let's talk about this weekend. This weekend wasn't bad.
How it wasn't bad?
Wasn't bad.
That's a rarity for you.
Wasn't bad. Was great. I know I usually say amazing weekend, great weekend. This weekend, good weekend, wasn't bad.
Okay.
You know? Wasn't great, but wasn't the worst. You know? I was in London, again, for the third time in, I guess, let's say 5 weeks. Last time I was in London, I had my depressive episode. I had I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
Today, in this hotel room.
Yeah.
In the shower. I'm going to do it. This weekend, I feel like I learned from my mistakes. You know? I also had a lot of weed with me.
There you go. Ready for it.
I numbed all the bad thoughts. There weren't really a lot of bad thoughts. The weather was nice. Finally, the weather's getting nice. It was sunny outside, you know? Mm-hmm. I got there a little later because usually I get there early, and that's enough time for the thoughts to stew. I got there a little later, so I didn't have to stew that long before the show.
That's good. That's a good way. That's a good way to beat it, actually. Yeah.
Right. A lot of weed. I have an ounce of weed at home, and I have a half ounce.
Oh, you're like really smoking weed again. Okay.
I'm stocked up.
Yeah.
You know, I'm stocked up. And before I left, I was packing. I was like, maybe I should take this much weed. Maybe I should take this much. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking all of it. Right? I'm like, I'm fucking taking all of it. What the fuck am I doing here, right? What am I rationing this weed? I brought it all to smoke. You know, I'm not gonna smoke it all, but I'm gonna fucking take all of it, right? Took all of it, you know, and I had joints, you know. Show was done. I hung out, handed out. Shows were good. Shows were good too. Gotta mention that part. The shows were great. Audiences were good. The comics were good. Hunter Collins, Don Perret, 2 Gs.
Yeah.
Gangsters. You know, some of Canada's best. You know, you've probably never heard of them because it's fucking Canada. You know, and people say that to me, Canada's best. I go, I'm immediately like, who the fuck are these guys? These fucking, I've never heard of them. And then I watch them like these are dudes who can hold their own. You know, it was nice being surrounded by the vets, as you would say, the veterans, you know, and not only being surrounded by the veteran comedians, but also having them accept me as one of them because I had really good sets. You know, Friday was a little rocky. I was kind of trying some stuff out. I had a set list. As soon as I went on stage, I tossed out the whole set list. I just started free going. Wasn't as good as if I had followed the set list.
Sure.
Saturday, I actually followed the set list. Fire. Friday was more of just kind of a free flow kind of what happens, which I really was proud of myself for doing. You know, usually, you know, it's just like a getting out of your comfort zone thing. Being uncomfortable is where the growth happens. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah,
Friday I was uncomfortable. Saturday was a little bit like I was in and out of that comfortableness. I was in the flow and then I was kind of coming out. But Saturday I had a way better set than Friday. Saturday there was a woman heckling in the like middle row, heckling, right? Some drunk, just small town Ontario fucking drunk idiot, right? She was heckling, she started talking, and it wasn't even really, I don't think she was trying to make the show bad. She was just trying to, I guess, she thought this was it. She thought this is what you're supposed to do, right? And I'm in the back, like, the host is on stage, and she's heckling him, and I'm in the back like, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't catch a fucking break here. What the fuck? I can't catch a motherfucking cocksucking break. This fucking bitch, I don't want to fucking go up there. Fuck. I'm, like, just doubting myself, like, fuck. Why can't I just go up there, tell my fucking jokes, do my fucking act? Why can't everything just be perfect, the way it's supposed to fucking be? What the fuck is going on here? I can't fucking believe this. I go on stage. As soon as I touch the mic, as soon as I start talking, all that kind of goes away. I'm like, I can handle this. I start doing this bit I have about my cat. I think you've heard it, right? I have something new I'm adding onto it where I go, the premise is like, you know, they're using AI now you can use AI to talk to your pets soon. I'm like, do we really need that? And then she goes, yeah. Woo! And I'm like, oh yeah, of course you need that. How else are you gonna talk to the pigeons you feed on the street?
Like a good pop?
Huge.
Should have, yeah.
They loved it.
Well deserved. Yeah.
She shut the fuck up after that one.
Good?
Oh wait, and then she went, I have a kitty. I'm like, someone call animal services.
Nice.
Protect the
second pop.
Bang.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Just
nothing.
Murdered. Kill shot.
Nothing after that. Shut her the fuck down. She
That's
was
excellent.
She was quiet. I thought that the staff went up to her and told her to be quiet. I couldn't really see, like, because of the lights. Then I asked, after my set, I asked the manager, I'm like, did you tell her to shut up? And they went, no. I go, oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, you didn't. Yeah.
Nice, I won.
Yeah. That was all me. Okay, good.
This is just like Garfield, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was all me. It's like when you learn how to ride a bike and the person holds the bike while you're learning how to ride it, and then they let go, and you can't really feel that they're not holding it anymore because you're just riding it yourself. You're like, yeah, hell yeah.
Great visual.
So those were the shows. Friday evening show, went to bed, nothing crazy. Saturday day, I went for a walk, went up, got myself my normal fucking breakfast bagel that I wanted. None of this Buzz Bagel shit. Not going to talk about Buzz Bagels again. We talked about it last episode.
Yeah, we got to stop giving them credit.
But I went to the farmer's market I usually go to. I got my fucking amazing breakfast bagel that I wanted. I was happy. I was walking. I was smoking weed. I got this really light stuff that really gives you a nice buzz during the day but doesn't make you feel all tired and grouchy after. It's very nice. But I was walking down downtown London, and there was they had like a street, like an open street convention. But it wasn't like a street festival. It was like a open air Comic Con or something.
Sure.
It was just weird. There was people walking around in fucking superhero masks and costumes, and like you could picture what it looks like. But then there was people selling clothes on the street, like vintage clothes on the rack. When did buying vintage clothes become so expensive? Have you noticed this?
I think when it got popular.
There you go.
Right? Like, it's like it was a good thing. And it's like when you start telling people about shit, then it just, now it's like, oh, now we can sell it for more.
These are secondhand clothes.
Yeah. It used to be for poor people. And now it's for poor people, but people are like, we're cool. Like poor people that aren't admitting that they're in poverty. They're like, no, I'm a stylish, impoverished person.
What the fuck happened? Vintage shopping is now like expensive.
Like, I think you can still go to Valley Village and shit. Like, you can get pretty cheap products.
Yeah.
But like now they have like these like cool
vintage stores.
Yeah, like they call it, like it's like a cool thrift shop.
Bougie.
And
that's the word.
That's like contradicted to the art. Yeah.
Bro, these are secondhand clothes.
Yeah.
They smell like shit.
That's what they're marking up on, actually. It's the shit smell. It's the authentic shit smell from the last person that had it.
You walk into the store, the whole store smells like shit.
Yeah.
The entire store smells used.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, well, it can't possibly be expensive. How much is this leather jacket? $90. What? Get the fuck out of here.
Crazy, man. I don't think it's like, it's kind of like the dollar store too. The dollar store used to be a dollar store, and now it's like, it's $4 for stuff.
There's
like,
no way there's somebody sitting behind a fucking computer verifying that this shit is expensive.
I think the thing is too that's kind of annoys me is like they get that shit for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're just making pure profit on this, and it's like one guy or girl that runs the store and works there every day.
And if they do give you money, it's nothing. They're giving you $5, $10, and you're like, oh, this is worth $10. You come back the next week, they're selling it for $120. What the fuck are we even doing here? I'm not paying $80 for a fucking polo T-shirt.
I wouldn't either.
From 1986.
No, you're absolutely right to not do that.
Not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand better, though. I'm just trying to expand my knowledge of understanding. Because I started looking at some of these clothes, and the smell, we were outside, and somehow the vintage store smell was just stuck on these clothes.
You know what? I think that's worth a Google. One sec. Keep going.
These are secondhand clothes. These are clothes. Other people have worn this shit. I don't understand. I'm under the assumption, when I was growing up, I thought buying new clothes was the cool thing to do. I thought when you walked around wearing all new stuff that you bought, new shoes, new pants, new shirt, that was cool. No, turns out if you buy garbage for more than you should buy it for, that's what's cool.
Here's the thing, Bob. It actually is it's just strictly bullshit. Why? It's what we thought. It's increased demand for thrifting, so they bump the price up. Higher overhead cost. Sure, it's a little more expensive to own a business now, so you charge a little bit more. Not $90 for a leather jacket. That's dog shit. And inflation doesn't matter because they get it for fucking free. It's dog shit. We have every right to be upset about this. There's no irrational motive behind this. We are pissed off at the man or woman that owns this, and we should be.
It's a Ponzi scheme.
It's a piece of shit Ponzi scheme.
It's a multi-level marketing scheme, vintage shopping.
Sounds Jewish, to be honest.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah, it does.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I just had to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, would my people do something like this?
Oh, yeah.
We would.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking siren.
Do you want me to shut that window?
Yeah, if you don't mind, Tyler, please. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Tyler.
It's nice to have.
Thank you very much. I think yes, the Jews would do this, but again, we wouldn't because we wouldn't waste our time with garbage. We're going after the big stuff.
That's true too.
We're going after the loans.
Absolutely.
We're going after the banks. We're going after high interest. We want compounding interest. There's no compounding interest. This is a pure fucking Christian white thing to do.
Do you think thrift shops are going to get to the point like DoorDash where they start like having like financing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun world.
Oh, 100%.
Is that the humanizonic period we talk about too, where it's like you can start financing your thrifting things?
No, that's when the humanizonic era needs to end.
That's when it ends. That's when humanity ends, essentially.
That's when the Jews get involved. When we start financing vintage clothes, the Jews are coming.
That's what you should do, actually. You should have a little side business, and you give out loans for thrift shop. And it has to be thrift only. You have to show evidence that you're going to the thrift shop. I want to see receipts, and then you come back, and we do that.
And I want 3.5% interest every week.
3.5? I'm thinking 20%, dude. I'm thinking big, dude. Per week? Okay, that's not bad.
I used to sell credit cards. Not 20%, 19.99%.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
See? You don't think like a Jew. 19.99%.
I'm trying.
That's not 20%.
No.
19.9% looks way better on paper. When
Gets
you
me
see
all the time.
19.99% on vintage clothes.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, me this money back, I'm coming. I'm coming for it.
You send the Italians after them.
I'm going to hire some Italians and black guys to come find you.
Fuck yeah, dude. And, of course, the blacks. Yeah.
They're going to strip those vintage clothes off you and bring them back to me.
Yeah.
Those old Jordans you bought because you thought you were going to fix them, you thought you were going to restore them and sell them for a profit. No, those are mine. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hang them off a electricity pole to tell people that a guy who lives here doesn't pay his vintage clothes bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the people who like shop vintage too, right? Like it's a certain type of people. Have you ever been vintage shopping? Have you ever gone to a vintage store shopping?
Yeah, like Value Village, not the actual vintage stores. No, I go to Value Village.
Value Village for poor people.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with being poor.
Do you know what it is?
But save it for the poor people.
I agree. Yeah.
Save the Value Village for the poor people.
I think it's poor people in denial is what thrift shops are for. You know what I mean? Like why would you go to a cool bougie place when you're broke? It's like you just go to Value Village where you belong and you own it and you're like, I want to get out of this, right? But instead of being like, you just kind of have like, no, I'm not poor. I go to this thrift shop. I'm cool. I'm not poor.
Those independent, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Those independent vintage stores are for rich people wanting to act poor. They're for rich people. They're for people.
Okay, yeah.
Because who are their clientele? They're for people who have money and then want to be like, hey, let's go be artistic. Let's go. Imposter syndrome. Let's go spend money on fucking secondhand clothes. But like, I'll spend $90. You know why? Because I have it. No one who's poor is actually going to these vintage stores.
No.
They're going to Value Village.
You're absolutely Rob, you're absolutely right.
But the poor people want to buy new stuff. The fucking rich people, they want to buy old shit.
Well, I guess everyone
because they can.
They want to see the grass and the green on the other side type thing. They want to see the other side of life. Everyone does. So that makes a lot of sense, actually.
I'm going to buy these shitty, smelly clothes. I'm not going to wash them. You don't wash them because you're going to get rid of the vintage smell, I think. I think that's what these people do. They don't get rid of them. I'm going to buy these tie-dye jeans from 1984 because they're vintage now for $170.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm rich. Buying new clothes isn't the thing for me anymore. Now I just want to buy old secondhand used clothes because I'm rich, but I don't really want to come off as rich with new stuff. You know? If I went to listen, I come from an Eastern European immigrant background, okay? My mom, if I told my mom I went to a vintage store and spent $90 on a secondhand used any piece of clothing item, she would fucking kill me. She would fucking hit me in the head with her shoe, with something. She'd be like, you could have spent $90 on a brand new piece of clothing. You could have went something that's never been worn before, something that's been straight from China, straight from that sweatshop.
Yeah.
Designer shit. You could have bought that.
You could have bought a sick T-shirt for $90.
You could have bought a sick... I love Mom. She would go to like Winners, right? When she would buy me clothes. She still does. She would buy me clothes and it would be like... She'd buy me like... She like... It's clearly a knockoff, right? You're not getting Versace at Winners for $40.
Yeah.
You're not doing that.
No.
But she'd be like, no one can tell the difference. That's what we do here.
Yeah.
That's what we do. You buy new fake pieces of clothing. You buy pieces of clothing that are fake, that are clearly fake, but they're new. They're new. And they're fake. No one knows. No one cares. They all assume it's fake. What are you, fucking Jeff Bezos buying Versace shirts?
Yeah.
At 17, I was going to school dressed like a fucking immigrant who just got his first check. You know?
Dude, it's so funny too. Like I think like do you remember like the phase? Because like I know what you mean, the Versace, the Gucci, like the guys wear. It's like, oh yeah, those Winners. I've seen that on the rack. Also, like, do you know the lowest level of white trash? My mom used to buy me a giant tiger. They had Hollister T-shirts.
Yeah.
As if like Hollister was like this like really expensive thing. She's like, no, we can get Hollister even cheaper. I was like that's like there's levels of white trash too to doing that. Like this like image you're trying to portray. Like, no, we have more money than you think. Look at this Hollister T-shirt. Look at this Lacoste T-shirt I got over here.
Look at this U.S. Polo ASSN shirt.
Like, dude, like stuff that's not expensive. They're just like, no, we got to get it cheaper.
I have a few Hollister shirts.
Oh, dude, I had many
laying around.
They have different colors. They had brown and yellow. They had like the grossest colors too.
Yeah.
Ugh.
American Eagle.
Oh, dude, Aeropostale. Aeropostale is still kicking, dude.
They're still around, but that's what I mean. That's what it used to be forever.
I know.
Now it's all this vintage shit.
I know.
What happened?
I don't know, man.
Where it's like this new trend now where it's like vintage shopping is the thing, and it's like, dude, we don't need this. You know? We don't need save the vintage for the poor people. Nothing wrong with being poor, but hey, you know what? If you can't do it, the vintage store is here for you. If you're trying to make ends meet, your kid needs new shoes, your kid needs a new shirt, the vintage stores here. That's what it's always been for.
The thing is, too, is you used to go to Valley Village and you would get like the real shit because there would be actual rich people that would just give their good clothes away, and you would get a good T-shirt for like $15. What are you looking at?
No, nothing.
Okay. You'd get a good T-shirt for like $15, but yeah, now it's like these vintage shops like mark it up as bougie, and they're like, no, like this shitty fucking leather jacket. It's probably pleather. It's probably not even real.
Yeah.
Charge it for $90, man.
Anyways, well, that was vintage. And then again, this was the open air convention I was in London.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an open air Comic Con almost, and it made me really realize that I'm so happy I never became like a comic book nerd. I am so happy that I never had a superhero phase, a comic book phase. I like superhero movies, but I never had the urge to put on a mask. I know I'm not the coolest guy ever. I know this. But at least I never had a fucking anime phase. Okay? At least I never had I'm going to dress up like these people on a day other than Halloween and go hang out with other people who dress up like these people. Batman. I saw a fat Batman. Exactly what you thought it was. Fat Batman mask, gut hanging out of his shirt. Exactly. If you're picturing it right now, it's exactly what you think it looked like. Bearded bald guy. Fucking Batman mask, gut hanging out, jeans too tight, probably has child porn on his computer. Exactly what you think. Walking around with a fake sword.
I was actually thinking about the child porn, yeah.
Everyone thinks about it. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
If the police want to find these people, go to fucking Comic-Con. Go to these people. Search all of them. Go find all their computers. Go take them all home. You know? If you see anyone over 300 pounds wearing a Batman mask, he's got child porn.
Yeah, do you think they look at Halloween as like this is fucking rookie shit?
Oh, like yeah, for
like they look down on Halloween, right?
Hell yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they see all us regulars walking around. Our one time of year where we get to express ourselves with costumes. I'm all for dressing up on Halloween the day you're supposed to, the day they give you. You're just walking around downtown London on a Saturday morning, and fucking wearing that shit. You know, there was a lineup around the block. And I'm like, what the fuck is this line? I walk up. Guess what the line was? Free comic books.
Yeah.
That's it. These comic books aren't going to be good. Why are they giving them away for free?
Well, okay. Well, maybe because they're good people. They're not like bougie thrift shops.
They're good people for giving them away for free. What I'm saying is, why are we waiting in line for a free comic book? You know, you're not going to... I'm coming at it from a Jewish perspective again, where I'm like, if I'm buying a comic book, I'm buying it to flip it. I'm buying it to resell it to make a profit, you know? Find me a great comic book for 50 cents. I go on eBay, it's $80. You know?
Yeah.
That's never happened, but that's why I would wait in line for a free comic book. The people giving away the free comic books if they haven't, they're definitely dumb. But they've definitely done their fucking research. They're not giving away free comic books if they have any sort of value.
They're not giving away the good stuff.
No.
Yeah.
It's like these used bookstores. I love a good used bookstore, but they know what they're pricing their shit at. Any book that comes in, boom, boom, they probably have their website resources. They go online, they check it. This is how much I should price it for. Any of the good shit, they're not giving that away for cheap. Why would they? You know, nobody wants to lose money. They don't want to lose money. This ain't a fucking communist comic book store. They're not just giving it away for free because they're communists. Maybe they were. I didn't ask them. Maybe they were communist bookstore owners. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Bunch of fucking pedophiles. Like, I like nerds. Don't get me wrong. I like a good nerd, but I like a certain type of nerd. Like, I'm a nerd, in a sense. Who doesn't? Who isn't a nerd, really? But I like a shy, awkward type of guy. A shy, awkward type of guy. I consider that a nerd, you know?
Yeah.
He's a really cool guy, but he's shy and awkward. You start talking to him. Hey, this guy ain't bad, you know? The second I see a Spider-Man mask, it's over.
Well, because you're absolutely right. They're getting loud about it. They're getting cocky. That's a cocky nerd.
It's over.
You don't want a cocky nerd.
Stay in your fucking basement.
Yeah.
Jerk off to 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
This is what you're made to do.
Yeah. That's what they make the content for, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just something so uncomfortable about a man over the age of like 27. How old are you?
29.
29? You like comic books?
No.
All right. Good. We can continue the episode.
No.
Just shut the
we
episode
continue
off.
building the empire now.
Okay. But anyways, that's the I don't know. I think there's more, but we're kind of short on time. What are we at? Half an hour?
40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it took 20 minutes to dissect that I was in a bad mood and talk about that, and then
that was my favorite part of the episode, to be honest with you.
Okay, that was my least favorite part of the episode.
I like these rants. Hey, man, listen. We're both humans. You know, we're both humans. This is the Robert Khakham.
Do you know what it is? I didn't wear my fucking sunglasses. I'm all exposed right now.
That's what it is. You feel naked?
That's the problem
Feel naked?
Yeah, I feel like you can see through my fucking soul right now.
No, man.
What am I thinking right now? Say it.
Huh?
What am I thinking right now?
I want to give you a hug.
Dude, I was going to say I want a hug.
I want to give you a hug. I want to give you a hug, man. It's okay to be vulnerable. Tyler, the Robert Khakham Show, one of the core principles of the Robert Khakham Show is vulnerability. All right, this is vulnerability. We are an open and safe, free space here. Okay.
Yeah, this is pretty new to me, man. Honestly, my dad hugged me when I was like 22 for the first time.
I didn't have a dad.
Yeah.
No dad hugged me.
You know what I mean, right? Like being hugged and being vulnerable. That's not really a thing.
Not a thing. I hate it.
You know, and I kind of honestly, I kind of prefer it that way. I kind of like just being. It's lonely, but it's quiet.
It's
you know?
very
it's
nice.
Like nobody bothers you.
You don't have to think about it.
I don't have to worry about it.
Very nice.
Now I gotta fucking worry about it. Now I gotta talk to this fucking 70-year-old dude. He's probably gonna die next year, so I don't even know why I'm telling him anything.
Don't worry about it. Listen, man.
Listen.
You know what? If he is gonna die, spill your guts. Tell him everything.
I hate that. That's a good point.
Yeah, you're gonna be dead in a week.
Yeah. Hey, listen, buddy, you're gonna die soon. So shout out, Dukes. Good guy.
You want me to book you in for next week? Hey, you know what? You let me know.
Yeah. Let me talk. Give me your doctor's number. Actually, let me see if that's possible.
You know what? You let me know, my friend. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, I went back to the hotel. This was Friday night. Okay. Now, I want to keep you guys in touch with what's going on in the world of basic cable, I should say, hotel experiences. Right. Only time I ever watch cable is in a hotel. So, what I want to do is we're starting a new segment here on the Robert Khakham Show. Okay? We're going to start this segment that I call Bobby's Hotel Movies.
Bobby's Hotel Movies.
So triumphant.
Bobby's Hotel Movies.
Yeah.
Now, this segment, basically, I watch a movie. I flip through the channels. I don't do it on purpose, just whatever comes on. And I talk about it. And I want to keep you guys informed with what's going on in the cable news world. Or not news, cable world of movies. Right?
Yeah.
I watched this movie called, this week, on Bobby's Hotel Movies. I watched this movie called Confidential Informant.
Okay.
Have you heard of this movie, Tyler?
I've never heard of this movie.
I did not expect you to hear this movie. This is a shitty B-list movie. It was on channel 62, and the channel was called the Stars Channel. Stars with a Z. Apparently, this was what Stars is doing, right? Are you looking up the movie?
Yeah.
You can look it up, but I'm going to explain
Is that
the movie.
Mel Gibson?
I'm getting to it, Tyler.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm getting to it. You know? Mel
yeah.
Gibson is in it, all right? This movie was the most interesting movie I've ever watched in my life. Granted, I was really stoned watching it, but I think watching it sober, I still would have not had any clue what the fuck was going on here. So I'm going to try and explain piece by piece what this movie was, okay? Basically, think about your gritty detective genre, okay? This was a detective movie. It was a noir-style movie, one of my favorite genres of movie. I love noir-style movies. That's why I was kind of happy when I first started watching this movie and I picked up on this was a gritty noir detective movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that they're kind of making a comeback right now, but this was a shitty B-list movie, okay? Mel Gibson was in it. He was probably the only good actor, right? And the dude who played the guy's brother on Prison Break.
Yes.
The bald guy.
Yep.
I forgot his name. Lincoln something.
It's fucking it's Dominique.
Dominique Toretto.
Yeah, something like that.
In the show, his name is Lincoln. So I'm going to call him Lincoln.
Dominique Purcell.
Right. This was a noir-style movie. And I'm happy that these things are around. I'm happy that these noir-style movies are slowly kind of making their way back. They're making their way back a little bit because I don't understand what happened where, bro, detectives used to be pieces of shit. They used to be the biggest fucking pieces of shit. A lot, like, the detectives were degenerates.
Give me a shit detective.
They were alcoholics.
Sorry, that's my mom.
That's okay. Answer it. Put her on the phone.
No. She can't. She's camera shy.
Detectives used to be pieces of shit. Detectives used to be like complete fucking like cigarette smoker, alcoholics, pill poppers. You know? At least in real life, I don't know, but in genres, in the noir style movie genres, for fucking hundreds of years, at least since the creation of movies, detectives were fucking assholes. Somewhere along the early 2000s, they became kind of glamorized. Like, everyone wants to be a detective. Detectives are so cool. Nah, man. Detectives are fucking pieces of shit. They're tortured by their demons. You know? They're out there in the gritty, nitty world of the crime, of the underworld. They're pieces of shit. They need all this stuff to cope, to numb their brains. You know? Same way I do when I spend a weekend in London. They need that shit to go. And this movie had that. That's why I gave it a good shot, you know? I was happy. I was like, this is a good fucking it's got that grittiness. These detectives were pieces of shit. There were two detectives, okay? There was the guy from Prison Break and the other guy who looks like the dude's brother from Prison Break, okay? From what I understood, they're just two pieces of shit detectives, you know? One guy's a complete degenerate. Not Lincoln, the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Complete piece of shit. It just cuts to him like he's in a strip club throwing dollar bills, getting hammered, but he's not having a good time. It's just one stripper and he's the one guy there and he's just begging her to come home with him.
That's a sad life.
Please come home with me. Please come home with me. And she's like, not today, mi amor. And she's like, and she was like a Russian lady too. It was a shitty B-list movie. None of it made sense. She's like, not today, mi amor. And then it cuts to obviously, you know, he takes her back to his place. He wakes up handcuffed to the bed. She takes money out of his jeans, leaves, comes back the next night. You know, he's drinking, he's taking pills. The other guy, Lincoln, he's a family man. He's got a family, but he's also a piece of shit. Now, the movie was basically they have their informants. You know, they work for the narcotics unit as detectives, as they would. You know, it's got that gritty voiceover. All those old detective genre movies, they have that voiceover. You know, the detective saying currently what's going on in his brain. This had that, but none of it made any sense. It wasn't the voiceover served no purpose for the rest of the movie. It was just like, I took her home. She slept with me. Okay, next scene. Okay, next scene. Mel Gibson is in it. You know, he plays the chief of police or their chief. And this is what happens when you talk shit about the Jews. You get put in shitty B-list movies like this. Yeah. You know, this is what happens. He did some trash shit about the Jews run Hollywood. Hey, guess what? You want to talk shit about the Jews? Well, you're doing this shitty B-list movie. Not that I have a problem with talking shit about the Jews. You can talk shit about the Jews. But again, it depends on the industry that you're in. Depends on the industry you're in. He was in the wrong industry to talk about the Jews. So that's why he is now in this shitty B-list movie playing the chief of police. So what happens is they have this confidential informant who is a CI. He's a confidential informant, gives them tips and stuff, right? Turns out in the movie, he tells them within like the first 15 minutes of the movie, he just has AIDS. He just has AIDS.
What a twist.
There's no twist. They're just like, I have AIDS. Their confidential informant gives them a tip, and then they go, hey, what's up, man? And he goes, I have AIDS. I got fucking AIDS, man. He was like a Mexican guy. I got fucking AIDS, man. I got fucking AIDS, bro. And they're like, oh, shit. We're sorry. All right, well, what do you got for us? You got any more tips for us? And then what happens is the Lincoln guy, one of the detectives, finds out he has stomach cancer. He goes, and then this is when the voiceover kicks in. He goes, my father had it. My grandfather had it. Now I have it. Next scene. Okay. So essentially what happens is they come up with some sort of scheme where there's like money involved, where if the cop dies, the department will pay for, like, support his family for life. And then the AIDS informant, if he dies, his family gets some money somehow. I don't know. I forgot, but he's a piece of shit. Somehow everyone gets like money.
Important part of the story.
So they set up this thing where it's like a traffic stop, and then they start shooting at each other, and the informant kills fucking the cop, Lincoln, the guy with stomach cancer, and then the degenerate cop who goes to the strip clubs kills kills the dude, and then they both die, right? All right, that's like 45 minutes into the movie. It's like we're talking like an hour 20 here. 45 minutes in the movie. The one guy has AIDS, kills the guy with cancer. Then the normal guy, the degenerate fuck, kills the guy with AIDS. All right. Okay, so then the rest of the movie is there's this internal affairs investigator, this black guy, who like I forgot his name, but he just comes in and he starts trying to solve this crime, right? Trying to be like, what happened here? And he just starts getting in the way of being like, fucking just gets in the way. He starts trying to put the clues together, and it's like this clearly was a setup. Like there's nothing really to think about here. He starts following them along on busts. There's a scene where they're going on a bust, and he just drives by in his car just staring at them, and they're like, what the hell is he doing here? And it like ruins the whole operation. It's like this guy calls himself a cop. He just drives by. None of this made any sense. This is a B-list fucking movie. So it just ends with the guy like confessing. The detective just confessing at the end. He goes, he had cancer, so now his family gets supported. And the guy had AIDS, so they killed each other just because he had AIDS. That was it. And the guy goes, okay. And then he just drops the investigation. And then it ends with the one detective that's alive fucking the dude's wife at the end. At the end, he just starts hanging out with his son and seeing the dude's wife, and it's like they don't show them fucking, but it ends with like this gold hue, like everything's okay now. But it's so what, this guy just went over to his house and now he's just fucking his wife and raising his kid.
I have a couple questions, if that's it.
Please.
First of all,
sure.
Were you texting and on your phone a lot during this movie?
Yes.
Okay.
I was stoned.
It sounds like
I was stoned.
So I don't know. Listen, this movie just came out in 2023, so I'm actually going to I'm siding with that. I probably is a shit movie. I haven't seen a good movie past I think since Daddy's Home came out, honestly, with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. Great movie. But it sounds like you missed key components of this story.
I didn't. That was pretty much the movie.
But it's just like
it was pretty much the movie.
So this guy has AIDS.
This guy has AIDS. Their informant has AIDS.
So that never comes into play really. Besides him just letting them know, hey, I got AIDS. We're gonna set this money thing.
Oh, except one time he gets mugged and the guy stabs him, and a little bit of blood goes on the guy who stabs him, and he goes and he looks at him and he goes, "Hey man, you're on the clock now," and it just cuts away, and the guy's like, "What? Huh?"
Yeah.
And then the audience, dramatic irony. Oh, he's got AIDS now.
Yeah, it seems cheap. It's like when you set it up all for that.
Yeah.
It sounds like they got to that part in the movie and they're like, yo, how could he ever defend himself? It's like, oh, what if he had AIDS and he just ends up killing this guy?
I loved seeing Mel Gibson on the screen again. Don't get me wrong. I was honestly happy that they had him. He added a very nice thing to the movie of just that, what the fuck is going on here? The whole movie had a really gritty vibe to it, which I really liked. This is one of my favorite genres of movie, is that gritty noir detective genre of movie. Yeah. I really appreciated it, right? The fact that the genre is still kicking. But again, it was like the most interesting, uninteresting movie I've ever seen. Confidential Informant.
That's what a lot of these new movies are, though. It's like they kind of take a template of something and they're like, oh, if we just do all these things, it makes a good movie.
Yeah.
But there's no originality. Really. There's some. It's just on Netflix. It's where the money is now. These big budget, these movies on theaters and shit, or whatever, they're not good. But also another question I have was that what they meant by he's gonna take care of his family? Was he like, yeah, if you die, I'll go start banging your wife? No,
the police department just gives her money now because her husband died in the line of duty.
Yeah, but the guy just starts fucking that guy's wife.
It's implied almost.
That's what it feels like. Is the police department was like, yeah, and also go take care of his fucking wife.
It's implied. Once the guy drops the investigation into the shooting, he just starts going to play catch with his kid because they used to play catch before he died. He starts playing catch with his kid, and then the last scene is him just staring at his wife and his wife looking back at him smiling. And there's this gold hue at the end where it's like it went from this gritty darkness to this gold hue, and it's like this feel-good ending moment. It's like, what the fuck even happened here? And it's like...
It feels like they fucked.
Either they did or they're going to.
Yeah, you could say, maybe she was just thanks for coming and taking care of us, appreciate it, but I mean, I think he fucked her.
Definitely.
You know, based on the explanation, I think he fucked her. I think he fucked her.
What a horseshit fucking movie. Honestly, like what a just waste of just everyone's time. Just I feel so bad for Mel Gibson and fucking Braveheart. Fucking Jesus Christ. This is what he did.
Passion of the Christ.
Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
He didn't play Jesus, did he? He
just
directed the movie.
He just directed the movie.
Okay. Still.
Yeah.
What happened? What Mel?
Well, he opened his mouth, like you said.
Mel.
You know, he made that movie with the human trafficking.
Mel.
And they were like, hey, you can't do that. That fucks us over.
And now he's doing these shitty Lethal Weapon?
Yeah.
Bro.
I know.
I love June Lethal Weapon. Mel.
And it's just, it's sad, dude.
Lethal Weapon 1.
He's also old. He's done lots.
He's really great in that movie.
We're all into Glenn Powell now and shit. Like that's the new big actor. You know Glenn Powell though, right?
No.
I don't know Glenn Powell.
Is he black?
I don't even have to bring him on the screen. Everyone knows Glenn Powell, especially your age group, like the a few years younger than me.
I don't know if you know, I'm not part of my age group. I'm in a different age.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're a different age every time.
I'm a different guy.
You come in sometimes like a 20-year-old, and then today you come in like a wise 80-year-old dude. Just
I'm a wise old man with a stick.
Yeah. It's
spreading my knowledge of the world.
Keeps me on my toes, Bob.
Right. Has to. That's okay. This has been Bobby's Hotel Movies.
Bobby's Hotel Movies.
We need an outro song.
What I want to start doing is any hotel movie I see, I've made a Letterboxd account. You know Letterboxd? It's a movie review app, one of the most popular movie review apps. Everyone's on it, very popular. This is me being in my age group. If you want to keep track of the movies that I watch in hotel rooms, I have started a list on Letterboxd where I review all the movies I've watched in hotel rooms. I will put the link in the description. You can follow me on Letterboxd. And you can keep up track with all the movies I watch in hotel rooms.
I want you to start sending me the movies that you're watching too, because I've been looking for movies to watch. I find it hard to like sit down and watch a movie usually. Mm-hmm. I want you to start sending me the movies you watch. I want to watch them too, so then, like when you're explaining this to me, I can ask questions, like a proper question, be like, "Oh, did you think about this way?" or something like that.
You want to watch the movie too?
Yeah, I just want to be informed. I want to like be like when you're explaining, I want to know. In the same way as like you're gonna tell these people they can go watch it for themselves. I want to be in on this. You know, I want to know what you're watching.
Sure, I could do that.
Because this confidential informant, I'm still convinced that you just missed the entire point of this movie.
Did I? You see it right there, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes review?
It's
what's
not
the number?
good. Oh,
what's
it's
the
bad.
number?
It's bad.
What's the number?
Rotten Tomatoes.
What? When
do you care about IMDb or just Rotten Tomatoes?
When you Google, just Google confidential informant. There's like these reviews that come up.
So you got the tomato meter, right?
Sure.
0%. You got the popcornometer. The popcorn meter is 38%. I don't know what the difference is.
What's the IMDb?
IMDb is 3.7 out of 10.
3.7 out of 10.
Bad. But here's the thing. There's movies that like Cat in the Hat got like 2 out of 10. I think that's a great movie.
Cat in the Hat's
Mike
a great
Myers,
fucking movie.
Yeah, like that's like, I don't really give a fuck about Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure. I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes either, but my point is, if you go watch this movie, you're not really going to think you're going to be like, you know what? I think Bob was about 85% on it.
Okay.
I'm
going to watch it.
But then again, please watch it. Anyone listening to this, watch it on your own, form your own opinion. I pretty much just said the whole movie.
Yeah.
And I will spoil these movies.
Okay.
Depends, on what we're feeling. But yeah, if you do want to keep track of the movies I'm watching, we're going to start this. It's going to be a good segment on the show.
I like this that you're starting like a kind of forum like this too. This is good.
We're starting a segment. This is anytime I'm in a hotel on the weekend. If I happen to watch a movie, we're gonna do Bobby's Hotel Movies.
This is a good dude. Like I want good reviews coming out of you, like paragraphs.
Bobby's Hotel Movies.
Every time we say Bobby's Hotel Movies, I have to play.
Bobby's Hotel Movies.
I have to play the sound. What are we at? What are we at time wise?
We're at an hour.
We're at an hour.
Yeah.
That flew by. Hour flew by. I feel like that was good, man. I feel like there was we got a lot to talk about there. It's good.
Yeah.
Vulnerable.
Yeah. Well, didn't like that part, but yeah, otherwise,
okay.
great episode.
We'll get you there.
Great episode.
Amen. There's no pressure. There's never any pressure. That's what a rapist says right before they rape you. There's no pressure. There's no pressure, man. You do your thing.
I do feel like I'm being raped into a conversation.
Hey, man, tell me more about how you're feeling. You don't want to talk about it? That's okay. Are you going to talk about it in a minute?
No, I actually hate talking. That's why I'm paying. I hate it so much. I'm going to pay someone to do it.
Good. Good. You want to call it? Let's call it.
Yeah, let's call it.
Let's call it.
Let's call it.
That was a great episode. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the Robert Khakham Show. As always, I've been Robert Khakham with my amazing producer,
Tyler Hartley.
Tyler fucking Hartley, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great week. See you next week. Goodbye.